Hi friends, after a lot of discussion, formulas and techniques and the work that we have done in the workbook and worksheets, now it's time to print the data, and here in this video I will be talking about printing data, what are the different settings so that you can optimize the printout. Now before I begin, let me illustrate what is there in my worksheet. It's talking about different bonds being issued by high grade companies, the top notch companies, and the issue date provided. What type of company is it? Is it a financial company, banking based, or corporate, or is it a government company? Within which, besides the company name, the issuer, I have the industry in which they are. So let's say banking, utility, pharmaceutical, etc. And the rating that has been assigned to them, those bond issues, the currency in which the bond has been issued, and the amount of funds being raised through these bonds issue. The coupon rate, whether it's a fixed rate or a floating rate note, and the maturity also provided, the price given, and the yield that is attached to the bond. Now this data is just for training purpose, so yeah, please do not rely on this data. This is just to see how printout might come out. Alright, now if I were to look at print preview, I would certainly go to office button and print preview. Now if I hover my cursor on just print preview, you would notice the shortcut coming in for 1 second, that is Ctrl F2. Besides this, I would want that to access print preview, I must have a button at, let's say, quick access toolbar, which is at the top, so that whenever I want to have a print preview, I can quickly click on that button. So first, before we get inside print preview, let's get a button right here on our quick access toolbar. So I go to office button, I simply hover the cursor on print, and I put my cursor on print preview. I haven't clicked yet. I will do a right click now, and there comes an option saying add to quick access toolbar. Let me click on that. Let's see what happens. You will notice straight away an icon which looks like that of print preview has come on top of quick access toolbar. So next time I wouldn't have to go so much deep inside the options. I will simply click on this icon, print preview. Now when I do a print preview, what I notice is I have various pages. So page 1 of 6, that is exhibited out here. If I magnify this, so if I go to next page, I notice few things that are missing. One, I cannot see the headings. Point 1. Point 2, it would have been great had I had let's say the borders under these data so that I can quickly match those up. So for example, 12th of March 2009, I have an issue from Goldman Sachs and Group, and that's banking company, and that's the rating. Okay. Now the data is such that it cannot be accommodated in a single A4 size page, and because of which certain data of the previous transactions are coming on, let's say, page 4. Now how do I know page 4? Page must have been written out here. So there are various things that are missing. I would want this in a landscape mode. I would want that the page number should have been coming in out here. The heading should have been present in all pages that's been printed out. So let's see. Let me close the print preview, and let's see what are the 2 tabs that is going to help us in getting this printout right. One tab we'll be talking about is page layout. Within page layout, there exists one section, page setup, which is nothing but is based on the previous version of Excel. The interface is somewhat similar to 2003 version of Excel. If I click on print titles, I'll come to this in a while. Alternatively, we'll also see if I go to view what 2007 or 2010 version of Excel has brought us. That is page layout. This also we shall see in some time. So let me go to normal. Alright. Now first let me go to page layout. Now the section which talks about page setup, let me click on print titles. What does this signify? Looking at the icon, I can make out it talks about what column or row I must have it in all of the pages. That should be repeated in all printouts. So I go to the section which says rows to repeat at top, and within which I choose this row number 5, which means in all of the pages this heading would come up. And in addition to that, I will also want that in columns, this column C, which mentions the issuer name, should be present in all pages. So for example, if page 1 talks about, let's say, till here, till the rating, and page 2 printout talks about the rest of the details. I should have the company name or the issuer in both these pages so that I can quickly refer those names accordingly. Alright, let's look at the print preview. Let me click here. So if I scroll down, next page, you'll notice the headings are present in all pages. In addition to that, the company names are present in all of them. So let me zoom out. If I just scroll up and down, you'll notice company name present in all. So that is what I wanted, and this was talking about print titles. Now besides this, I would also want the grid lines to be present so that I can quickly look at the details accurately. So I check on the grid lines. I go to print preview. You'll notice small, very tiny dotted lines that would encapsulate all the data individually, which will help me read the data once this printout is ready. Let me again go back to the normal view. So we have talked about the grid lines, we have talked about print titles. Alright, what else is left? Let's see. Now I want to look at that what is the page sequence number that is going to flow out of the printer. So to find that sequence, let me go to view. And let me access page break preview. Where is the page breaking for printout? If I do that, it says, welcome message. Okay. And it tells me a story that I can adjust these dotted lines so that the page number is adjusted accordingly. So for example, the hallmark says page 1 is this, page 2 is this, and it flows down vertically. But hey, I don't want that. I want when the printout comes out of the printer, the page 1 should be this, page 2 should be this. Now it has two problems. One, you have to reshuffle the pages sequence after the printout is ready. That will take a lot of time if you have not many more pages of printout. Secondly, the page number will be erroneous. So page 1 of let's say 6 will be this, page 4 of 6 will be this. I didn't want that. So let's see what can be done. First things first, let me make sure this extra column, let it not be strayed out. Let me just use this dotted line so that now both are printed in two distinct pages. Next, I'll go back to page layout. I'll click on the small tiny icon which will quickly open the page setup box, and I can access the sheet tab. Okay, something which you already discovered. Now in this, the most important setting is the page order. As of now, it is flowing vertically. I don't want that. I want first it should be horizontally. Once it finishes, then the next set of data should be accommodated. Now if I press let's say OK, you'll notice page 1 is this, page 2 is this, and once you put in the footer, the page number, it will be coming out correctly. So that was one setting talking about the page order. Now let's talk about the customized header and footer. Let me again click on the small tiny icon. Alternatively, I can also click on print titles. Now when I'm going to talk about the headers footers, let me access the relevant tab, header footer. Now there are preset custom header footer which you can choose. So for example, certain header where you can put page number, you can put page 1 of 6, the question mark represents the total number of pages. You can talk about, let's say, messages like confidential, the date, the page number, the file number, the path, the sheet number. But hey, you may want to customize it as per your requirement. So let's say if I go to custom footer, which means whatever message that should come out should be at the bottom of the page. So here what I see is left section, center section, right section. And all these icons, if I just put my cursor on that, you will notice it talks about various data points, insert number of pages, date, time, file path, file name, sheet name, picture. So let's say in the center section I want to give something like this, page 1 of 6 or page 2 of 6. So how do I put it there? If I put this icon which says insert page number, it will just give the numeric value. But before numeric value, I want the word PAGE. So I write PAGE space, and this is the terminology for page number. Now after this, I would want a message saying page X of Y. So let's say page 1 of 6. So after of, let me click on this button which says number of pages. So you notice the plural form coming in. So in this center section, I will have, let's say, page 1 of 6, page 2 of 6. That keeps a control check. What are the total number of pages? On the right hand section, may I want, let's say, the date on which it was printed out. So to keep a control check about the versions of printout, date also given. On the left section, I may want the file name and the sheet name. So if I put the file path, it will give me the entire file path. I don't want that. I want file name. So let's say whatever the file name is, printing.xlsx, and after which putting a space and putting a hyphen and then saying the sheet name. This icon talks about the sheet name. So that's the tab sheet. Now if I press OK, you will notice the output will look like this. The printing file name, the sheet name, page 1 of 6, page 2 of 6, whatever that might be, and the date. If I look at the print preview, this is how it would look. Now this provide a quick control check. Let's say after a month or so, you refer to this printout and you'll be able to remember that it was printed out on this date, on this page number, page 1 of 6, and the file and the sheet name. Closing print preview. Alright, so these were the basic settings. More to come, and more of them I'll discuss that in the View tab. Now in 2007 version of Excel, they have brought out a layout called Page Layout. Now what Page Layout does is it combines Page Break Preview, which we just activated, and Normal View. So in the same data, in the same preview, you can change the data from here. So let's say energy, just for example's sake, energy. You can also put headers here, and the moment you click on this section or any of these header or footer section, you will notice a separate contextual tab comes up, and which says you can insert page number, date, time, file name, sheet name if you want to, and the same notation comes in, the one that we used just a little while back. Now if you want to give a picture in the footer, let me scroll down. So let's say I'm going to replace, let me just put a picture on the header. So I go to this section, I go to picture, and on my desktop lies a picture called calculator. So I choose that and I say insert. Now when I click outside, the picture is very big enough, that is taking up more than required space. So what I do, I go back inside. There's a button called Format Picture. So this is a question frequently asked, that how do I modify the picture from within inside? Yes, once you have inserted the picture, go to Format Picture. You can reduce the scale of this. So let's say I'm just taking it out to be, let's say, somewhere close to 20%. Let's see what happens if I press OK and click outside. Yeah, there you go. And the same thing could have also been done with the page setup, the traditional method that lies under page layout. If I go to normal view, and if I go back to page layout and click on the print titles, within which I can access header footer, in the custom footer or in the custom header where the picture was posted, if I choose this, there lies an option saying Format Picture. This will give you exactly the same options where we increased or decreased the percentage. So there you go. This is the Insert Picture tab and this is the Format Picture tab, both of which can be accessed either through Page Layout or through View Page Layout. So normal. Now one of the common settings which everyone uses is the portrait versus landscape, that is orientation. You can change that landscape, you can change that portrait. So if you have a larger data set horizontally, you may want to use landscape. And if I look at the print preview, might look like this. Of course, you can say show margin and increase or decrease the margin size. Let me close print preview because I have something very important to share with respect to printing. To understand, let me go to sheet 2, which talks about formula audit print. Now this is something we observed in the previous videos, that if you want to quickly see all the formulas at a single glance, you can use this shortcut key Control and backtick. But the point here is, if I want to take a printout and I want to see this entire set of formulas along with the column and row reference headings, how do I do that? So if I go to print preview, you will notice the formula is ready ready for display. But I cannot make sense of this formula unless I have the column and the row headings which says C, D, E, F, G and row number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me go to close print preview. Let me go to again page layout and print titles, and within which there lies an option called row and column headings. So if I check that on and go to print preview, you will notice now I have the perfect display of row and column headings, and which will help me make sense of the formula given inside. So try as much as possible not to access the page setup from here, because it disables certain options. You must close print preview and then access the page setup from either of these page layout options. Now let me again press the same shortcut key, control backtick, to go back to the previous scenario. Let's say if you have certain comments given in any of the cells. So let me insert a comment saying Resha Pugalia, and let's say refer email dated whatever that may be, let's say 31st December 2008. Now in my printout I would want the comments should not be missed out. So I go to print titles and I say comments at the end of sheet, which means at the end of printout. So let me say next page, separately the cell number, the comment originator and the comment itself comes out. So that's the setting for comment. Where is it? In the print titles, comments. And in case you have any errors posted in the sheet, you may say cell errors as displayed or as blank. So that way in the printout all the errors #NA, #div, #name wouldn't come out. So those were the many options of printout. And amongst the last in the page section, you can also say landscape and fit everything into one page wide by one page tall. Now if I look at the print preview, you will notice the entire printout is in one page tall and one page wide, that is one page. So I use this quite often to summarize the printout. So try with different combinations and all these settings, and you will get to know how powerful this print options are, and it will save time when you take the printout.